Welcome, everybody, to the South Hockey Network live on YouTube, live here from Winnetka Ice Arena. A short drive to an away game for the Titans as they will take on New Trier Green for the third time this season, second time in SHL play. My name is Dylan Ward, and I have a special guest commentator here with me in the booth today, none other than my podcast guest, Luke Jordan, my co-host, I should say, Luke Jordan, coming in here to help out with the broadcast. Luke, you've called a couple of GBS games in my absence, but it's good to share the booth with you tonight. Yeah, absolutely. Fun to be with you, Dylan. I've already seen these two teams play once on the SHL Game of the Week. That game didn't favor the Titans, but tonight's a new night, a Wednesday night, a late one, and they look ready to go. Well, the Titans are hot. They're coming off a Jamestown Governor's Cup Tournament Championship win thanks to a 4-0-1 record. Their one blemish, a 1-0 shootout loss final score, where Thomas Preston gets credit for the shutout in that one. He had two shutouts, an unbelievable stat line for the freshman as he won tournament MVP honors. He will get the start tonight for Jim Philbin. Listen to this. 2 shutouts, 0.77 goals allowed average, a .953 save percentage. How about 2 goals allowed at equal strength through 5 games? Yeah, no, that's some pretty crazy stuff, Dylan. It doesn't matter what team from what state you're playing. You put up those numbers, even against a JV-level team, it is impressive stuff from the freshman, Thomas Preston, who has really been able to adapt to this high school game even as a freshman. Well, we're here at Winnetka Ice Arena, New Trier High School, obviously in Winnetka, but they don't play a lot of games here this season. They mostly play at North Shore Ice Arena. New Trier, as a club, cycles through this rink, North Shore, and Centennial Ice Rink. Usually it's a pretty equal split, but for whatever reason this season, not a lot of games on the schedule for New Trier Green here at Winnetka. This is actually their first of only 3 here at this barn in SHL play, and in or out of the SHL, their first time skating in a game here at Winnetka Ice Arena. Yeah, and it is a very nice barn, Dylan. I played in here a couple of times against New Trier White and once against New Trier Blue as well. It's always fun to play here, but I will say North Shore also very nice as well. They got some good rinks to choose from, and I guess they're still flip-flopping them, but like you said, not as much as typical. So we'll get more into the game details soon, but before we do that, we just want to give a shout out to each and every one of you watching who is subscribed earlier today. We hit our milestone, 1,000 subscribers here on the Glenbrook South Hockey YouTube page. We appreciate each and every one of you, and our 1,000th subscriber, a man by the name of Brody Bro. So at this point, we have to go down the list. What do I owe him? I owe him I have to mow his lawn, FaceTime call, show up at his holiday party. Anything else promised while I was not here when you were calling the game with David? Seems like David nailed all those. Candlelight dinner, Gerard. Oh. Okay. There you go. So I'm gonna have a busy winter break here, hanging out with Brody Bro. But Brody, if you're watching, thank you for being our 1,000th subscriber. As we are just about to get set here. Opening face-off, Titans wearing gold, going from left to right here in period number 1. Trevians here at home wearing the whites. They'll go from right to left in period number 1. And we are underway. Hope you have a cup of coffee next to you as we're dropping the puck here at 9:10 p.m., actually 9:20 p.m. for the start of the game. Here comes Zach Hipsch over the line for New Trier. He centers one. Nobody there to punch it home for New Trier. Up high, Moreno takes a shot, flipped high by Preston, up and out of play. Yeah, nice start off the draw for South. They're able to get the puck moving clean, but Hans Huber, nice job getting up the ice, creating a 2-on-1 for New Trier, and then it developed into another shot opportunity, as you see here, and Thomas Preston handles it well, just deflecting it out of play. Only one man on the Titan roster not dressed for this game. That's Mitchell Adams. Of course, he's doing double duty with the Varsity 2 team, and with Varsity 2 having a game tomorrow and the Varsity 1 team playing Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, just decided it's probably not the best idea to have him play 3 games in 3 nights, especially after this busy stretch for the Titans. How about 3 tournaments in 3 weekends with the SHL Showcase, the O'Grady Thanksgiving Tournament, and the Governor's Cup last weekend? Yeah, this is one of the prime times of varsity high school hockey, Dylan. Does not matter typically what month, but specifically in this December, late November, early December stretch, things get wild when it comes to schedules. This one's tipped wide. Maybe a piece for Wyatt Schmidt, the starting goaltender for New Trier Green. And then this weekend, finally a weekend with no tournament. How about Fenwick? 3 games in 3 nights, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as the weekends have been a busy time for these boys as of late.
Well, I guess you could say they almost have an advantage having played already so many of those chaotic weekends.
Nice and conditioned. But Mitchell Adams not in the lineup as Zach Boris missed the entire Governor's Cup due to injury. Cesario looking to win this race to the puck. He will, but New Trier will play it out. But Zach Boris is dressed tonight. He'll get limited ice time, though we see him on the ice here to start this first shift. Good to see number 91 in gold back in skates. Here's Evan Bonnell, got it to Zach Boris. He tried a centering pass. That one goes off the goaltender Schmidt, and the rebound down into the corner. Sent out of the zone by New Trier. Here comes Luke Chu over the line down the left wing side. Fighting off Mulvey. Mulvey hits him into the corner boards. Actually didn't get a lot on that hit. As the loose puck goes to the far side, Zach Boris for the Titans. He can't play it out. It's kept alive right point, but sent right back down low. Boris can't clear. Now back for Cole McPherson. And a giveaway! Nolan Nagats almost buried that one and off a turnover, but he sent that puck high. No save required for Thomas Preston.
Yeah, that's why they say you never even want to turn towards the middle when you're breaking out the puck, because something chaotic like that can happen, even if you don't think it will.
Lytle and Nagats now get tangled up. No penalty as a result of that collision. Luke Chu back over the line. Got it down to Herstrit. Back up high. Now Herstrit, the captain of this New Trier Green. That's Connor Herstrit, by the way. One of 2 Herstrit bros on this New Trier team. As it gets sent out to the neutral zone, picked right back up by Herstrit. Getting it now is Jonah Weiss for the Titans. He'll come over the line, right wing side, flip it down as it goes to the far side. Swooping in there for New Trier is Andy Finger. He gets it to the near side for DeGroot. Max DeGroot centered it. And looking for Finger again on that return pass, but it didn't find him. Meanwhile, the Titans send it the length for an icing.
Yeah, Dylan, we'll take a look at what was a near mishap for the Glenbrook South Titans. Here's McPherson below the net, and what he does is he was starting to turn in a nice stick lift, as you're going to see below the net here by the Trevian forechecker, able to pop it out in front. And it seemed that it was the stick of Mulvey that saved that shot from going on target.
Just getting started here at Winnetka Ice Arena. We appreciate you staying up late with us here on this Wednesday night. 13:30 to go in the first period, as New Trier Green looking to get back on track with a record of 3-3 in their last 6 games. 500 over 6 games is not going to be a bad stretch to a lot of teams standard, as they'd like to get back to a nice sustained winning streak.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't play at 100% for every game of the year, even if you're the number 1 New Trier Trevians. This is a time where you can beat them while they're down if you're Glenbrook South.
A 3-0 win over Stevenson their last time out. This one's centered. Stevens hacking at it. Now the loose one up for Pajerski. He shoots, getting a piece of that is Wyatt Schmidt. Now on the rebound, another shot fired towards the net. Covered up by Schmidt for a whistle.
Yeah, this is a nice job by Pajerski to get loose in the slot. Hoffer finds him on the backhand. He's got a clear lane, but Schmidt, as we saw when we collectively called the O'Grady Cup together, what a chaotic game that was. But he's just such a textbook goaltender. He knows where to be. He's always on time with the butterfly and such. Just overall has been incredible for New Trier these past couple years.
It was definitely good to call that game, Luke, because the only meeting in SHL play between these two was called by Anthony Pasquale on the SHL network, so definitely good to brush up on some of these New Trier players. It helped prepare me for this one. As this one gets knocked down into the Titans zone. Boris on the ice, so far so good, taking regular shifts for Jim Philbin. Now Will Fagan behind the goal line, plays it to the near side, Dylan Lytle. Lytle, stretch pass out to Boris at center ice. Boris to Bonnell over the line. Bonnell leaves it. Boris got it. Sends it to the near side as it bounces behind the net. Now Boris tried a centering pass to Lytle. Couldn't find him. Evan Bonnell with the loose puck. Bonnell, who had quite the move in the O'Grady Cup Championship. Lytle couldn't tip that one on net. Now Boris on the rebound sent that high of the cage. Sorry, he could tip it on net, but not into the net. Here's Will Fagan over to the right side circle. Now back up high for Luke Fagan. As Evan Bunnell swoops in there, Bunnell tried a centering pass looking for Boris, but it gets lifted out instead. And Will Fagan will just have to dump it in.
Yeah, and you talk about Bunnell with that nice chance there. You can tell ever since that goal in Jamestown, he's been showing a little bit more confidence with the puck. You know, he was really kind of shaky making plays earlier on in the season, but as the season has gone on, he just looks so much more natural when he has the puck on his tape.
And Luke, you know the goal in question, right? You've seen it?
I absolutely have.
Highlight
Multiple
reel
times.
stuff. Yeah.
It's one of those goals where you just rewatch them over and over again. Here's a nice redirection in front from Lytle. Rebound by Bunnell, who's there, but once again, it's the stick of a defender stopping a shot attempt from hitting the net, as we've seen from both sides occasionally so far tonight.
0-0 game. Last time these two teams met, it was 0-0 after the initial 17 minutes before New Trier opened up a 4-0 lead following two, but they'll score here in the first period. It's Ethan Baker for his 8th goal of the season and 3rd against Glenbrook South.
Well, take a look at this shot, Dylan. This is why they call Ethan Baker one of the best forwards in the state, even quoted from his own coach, Adam Charis. This is exactly why. Watch this rifle come off of his stick. It comes off so fast. Preston doesn't have that blocker ready. You're going to get a perfect angle here. A nice keep in the zone. GBS defenders back up, giving him some space. And that is just a beautiful shot from Ethan Baker.
Luke, at the next whistle, I'm going to want to take a look at that main cam replay again as he gloved it down right by the blue line, pretty darn close to offsides. As New Trier leads 53-0 according to the scoreboard here at Winnetka Ice Arena. No, it's not you, Brad. Don't worry. Brad Cesario, our chief scoreboard operator. Now Baker up high. Getting it back and taking a shot is Kai Oyang, but that one wouldn't go. As now the puck into the corner and out of play.
Yeah, and he said you wanted another look at this one, so you'll get it. Here it is. This is kept over the blue line, but by a hair. Was for sure a close call, but a good call by the officials nonetheless.
And you've got Gerard here on the showing 53-0. We'll drop the puck out in neutral ice. Don't worry, you've got the correct scoreboard on your screen at home. 1-0 New Trier. The shots on goal, 3-3 here in the early going.
Yeah, and this season just in general, it's been so important for Glenbrook South to jump out in front. You look at the split numbers when they score first and when they don't score first. This is, a little bit of a puncture to get things going, but still plenty of time to turn things around.
Now here's Blake Hoffer out in neutral ice. Hoffer to Pajerski. First line out for Jim Philbin as Mulvey sends it over to Will Fagan. Fagan 4 assists in his last 4 games for the sophomore defenseman in SHL play anyway. As Pajerski now has the puck, slides it over Will Fagan. Top of the circle, now up high, sends a puck down below the line. Stevens tried to bank it in off Schmidt, that didn't work. Now sent back down into the zone. As we understand, we have some audio issues on our broadcast right now as being reported by Sam Schwartz in our chat. Quite literally only hearing every 1 second and then none for 4. So we'll try to get that fixed as soon as we possibly can. We do apologize. Make sure to give us your feedback in the chat in terms of if it's still bad or if it gets any better, because we can hear it perfectly in our headphones, so we don't know what you guys are hearing at home, but hopefully we fix it soon. Here's Finger with a shot, that one tipped high of the net, and the net comes off to stop play just about halfway through period number 1.
Well, if you're hearing me, it's a good chance off the glass. And that net comes off. Otherwise, could have been a chance for Herstrit in front, but we'll now have a face-off to the right of Preston.
8:42 to go in the first period. Ethan Baker with a goal for New Trier. As the lone tally so far, you got to watch out for New Trier, especially in this matchup. In the 2 games they've played against Glenbrook South, it was really one period absolutely dominated by New Trier, and then the rest of the game was relatively even. You look at that SHL game back at Glenview Ice Center, 0-0 after the first, 4-0 after the second. You look back at that preseason invitational championship game, 4-0 after the first, and a final score of 6-2 in favor of New Trier Green.
Looks like we're getting some responses that we're good now.
All right, I like the sound of that. Got Michaela Minahane in the chat. Is this one sent all the way down? I've got something to say about that next whistle. This one in the corner, being fought for. 2 guys in each sweater. Now up high, finger left point. Spins to Ludacek from Lytel, but that comes offsides as Michaela Minahane in the chat. We just celebrated our 4-year anniversary yesterday. That is my lovely girlfriend. Had a nice dinner, so big shout out to you, Michaela. Love you and appreciate you tuning into the broadcast here tonight.
And congratulations on that, Dylan.
Thank you. Luckily, I didn't have a game.
Yeah, busy man, but got the right night off on the right time.
Showing me nothing but support through this career path I'm on. I really appreciate you for that, Michaela. As we're back underway, New Trier with the puck. This one's brought over the line, right side, centered. Now it's DeGroot wide open, takes a shot. Big save made by Preston. He tried to cover up the rebound, but instead, no harm, no foul. The Titans will come out with it. Mulvey down to the near side corner. Sent it up to Higgins. Grabbed by Mulvey just for a moment. DeGroot gets it back. Goes to Nuggets behind the net. Higgins keeps it in off the clearing attempt. Here's a shot. That one blocked and sent out of the zone by the Trevians. Glenbrook South, a perfect 3-0 against New Trier in league play last season. First time the Titans have swept New Trier Green in the regular season in the SHL era back to 2012. But New Trier obviously with the 5-0 defeat over the Titans earlier this season. The Titans still awaiting their first goal against New Trier Green in the regular season. Now here's Blake Hoffer, the leading scorer on the Titans. Left it for Stevens. Stevens whiffed on a shot, and now it goes behind the net. New Trier will rework with it. How about Blake Hoffer for the Titans? Last game ended, as this shot goes way up high, last game ended a 4-game multi-point streak. He had a goal, but only the 1 point. So he's on a 5-game point streak, Luke. The last time he was left without a point in SHL play was that 5-0 defeat to New Trier.
Yeah, just a straight-up athlete, Blake Hoffer is. He's not only incredible at hockey, this isn't even his primary sport, as most of you loyal listeners already probably know. Committed to Illinois for baseball. It's just some incredible stuff.
It really is. Left-handed pitcher as well. Those are always very valuable in the baseball field.
Absolutely.
No pun intended on that field, by the way. This one comes to the near side. Miller, Pajerski, but it comes out. There is the man in question. Blake Hoffer leads this team with 13 goals and 11 assists in the SHL regular season. Zach Hipsch for the Trevians, now out to the neutral zone. Miller will come over the line. Harrison Miller through the legs of Luke Fagan. Miller gets it back down below the line. Puck bounces and finds Cesario, who plays it off the near boards and out. 5.5 to go in period number 1. 1-0 to the home team here in Winnetka. As the Titans look to get back on track, they're 4-1 in their last 5 SHL games, but that one was their most recent game against tonight's opponent's bitter rival, the Loyola Gold Ramblers. But the Titans overall, of course, they won that Jamestown Governor's Cup last weekend. They're hot right now, with the only real blemishes to their record came in that O'Grady Cup, but certainly a little north-south hangover maybe. Here's a shot from way up high, right point. That one behind the net. Rebound sent in front, but right to Frank Surma, who intercepts. Now Surma through neutral ice. Over the line, left wing side between two sticks. Gets the puck back to the near side, half boards, but it gets poked down below the line by New Trier, who will recover the puck.
Like the confidence nonetheless there from Surma. Against a lot of defenders, that will work if you pull it out of the bag of tricks.
We haven't seen a shot on goal in a while. It was 3-3 for a long time. Now it's 4-3 for New Trier. Here comes Evan Bonnell over the line, right wing side. Bonnell center to Aiden Weller. Weller turns around, fires one. That one stopped by Schmidt. He's got to think Aiden Weller gaining some confidence from his Jamestown performance. The defenseman with only a goal in the SHL season. What a move here by Bonnell. Tried to get it to his backhand for a shot, but couldn't get rid of it. But Aiden Weller, who only has one goal in the SHL season this year. How about two in Jamestown? This one gets sent in. Blocker aside by Preston. Rebound, the Titans can't clear it out. Kept alive by NTG. Sent down below the line by Jack Herstritt. Getting it back is his brother Connor. Now swooping in there, Chu gets it up high. Nagats down to the left side circle. Nolan Nagats gets it back. Top of the point, being pressured by Lytle. This one forced down to the corner. And the Titans will repossess the puck. Just for a moment, Herstritt centered it. Here's Chu with a shot and a save made by Preston right into the O on the word south.
Wow, what a possession there by New Trier. And this is what they will do. It can be 5-on-5, but they play you in the offensive zone like they're a power play. Because what they're doing is, as you see there on the left side of your screen, they can drag two Glenbrook South skaters over at once, creating odd man opportunities on the other side. Quick puck movement creates chances, and they had some there.
Well, the Trevians scored first in this game. Their record when they score first, 10-2-0. How about this, Luke? Ethan Baker with the goal when he records a point. 8-0-0 for the Trevians. And in games where he does not, 2-4. So GBS looking to break that streak, as the Titans, surprisingly with their record of 4 games above the 500 points percentage, don't score the first goal a lot. Only 5 occasions where they've scored the first goal, but when they allow the first goal, 3-5-1.
Yeah, Dylan, that's what we saw in North-South. I think we mentioned that stat for both teams, is how they were both undefeated when scoring first. You don't got to score first, it's how you finish, and GBS is a proven example of that.
I know one of the games that you filled in for me for, that third period comeback against St. Viator way back in October.
Yeah.
Titans will play St. Viator again in a week and a half or so. Actually, a week from today for their last game before winter break on December 18th. Now here's Moreno, centered at Miller with a shot. Big glove save made by Preston, making it look easy on that one.
Making it look easy is no understatement. He's so composed with that glove of his. Looks like he's not even trying off of a shot like this. Miller sees space on the right side, but instead puts it into the mitt of Preston. I think that he wanted to put that shot a little bit higher, as you're going to see here, because he had to settle it. But nonetheless, Preston, incredible save.
Governor's Cup MVP over the weekend, with less than a goal allowed per game, as he played every minute of the run in Jamestown, New York. Surma, backhander out to Jonathan Cesario. He'll come over the line, left wing side. Couldn't keep the puck as it's settled down by the goaltender for Peter Moreno. Now to Groot. Adam Sokol, now Surma over the line. Just a hair offsides are the Titans. That'll stop play as we get down to 1:49 to go in the first period.
Yeah, and although it's 1-0 Trevians, I feel like it's been pretty evenly played. I think Glenbrook South's only issue so far is finishing plays. They've been able to enter the zone pretty cleanly, but when it comes to getting a shot off wide, Schmidt hasn't had to face too much. I mean, the shots tell a lot.
7-4 New Trier. Dylan Ward here on the call alongside Luke Jordan. Special guest here for this game. You've heard Luke on play-by-play for a handful of games this season where I've been absent. Now stepping into the color role, helping me out.
Yeah, if you can't put voice with name, just think of the crazy guy who would yell all the time.
And that means you're doing your job well.
Just love the game. Maybe a little bit too much.
Got to have some passion, right? I hear some of these commentators as DeGroot sends a man down. That's Luke Fagan. That draws some applause from the New Trier half of the ice, both on the bench and in the stands. Meanwhile, down in that corner, we've got a penalty. It'll be our first of the game, called by both refs.
Yeah, let's break this one down. It was kind of tough to see in real time. That's a hit from behind by DeGroot. Then Weller goes down. Giving a hit after is Luke Fagan, and it is going to be
Max DeGroot. And it's hard to tell here because it's similar to Centennial in the sense that the penalty boxes are really just an extension of the bench, but it is DeGroot to the box, and it looks like that box is empty for the Titans. They'll put the 2 minutes up on the clock, and the Titans will be your first team headed to the power play in this one. All power plays on the South Hockey Network are sponsored by RSM, the power of being understood. Titans on the power play, 14% in the Governor's Cup in Jamestown, 3 out of 21 in the SHL, 7 for 41, good for 17.1%. Let's see if they can convert here. A big chance to grab some momentum into the first time out. Face-off win's a good way to start Pajerski, but before it got to Mulvey, it was a little too slow, and it's grabbed away by Hans Huber, who gets it down deep. New Trier took them a while to score a shorthanded goal, but they finally got their first shorthanded goal of the season in their last game against the Stevenson Patriots. Here comes Pajerski over center ice, chips it off the boards. That didn't work. Miller grabbed it out of midair, and he will send it down.
And you know, Dylan, it's pretty crazy that they just scored their first shorthanded goal because they are such an aggressive penalty-killing unit. They are not scared to send 2 guys at the puck, as you just saw there, as Mulvey's stick goes flying.
Look at the ref helping him out. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
It was a tournament in Madison. One time I gave a guy his stick back after hitting him.
Oh.
My teammates were not happy with me.
How kind of you.
I was just trying to be a nice guy.
As Pajerski in neutral ice, got it to Weller. Time running out, 14 seconds. This one sent down below the net. Hipsch will ring it around the boards as it's cleared out, and what a PK here from New Trier Green as time will expire on the first period, and the Titans really with no offensive possession in their zone.
Yeah, New Trier was in significant control, especially at the end of that first period, and that penalty kill shows it all. And by the way, anybody who's watching live, we're seeing now on and off comments that we're on and off, but then we also hear that we're good. So if you guys just want to give us as a majority, hey, you're good, you can hear me clear, that would be nice to know.
Yeah, and don't be shy, folks. Use that chat. We love interacting with you folks at home. Lots of messages so far, but most of them are about the audio. So
yes.
If you have any other things to say to us, please let us know. Dylan Ward, Luke Jordan here in the booth on the headsets. Gerard Boris, our technical engineer today, and Brad Cesario operating the scoreboard you see in the top left corner of your screen. Well, for the Titans, that is now the 4th straight SHL game that they've allowed a first period goal after a goal differential of 7-0 in the first period in Jamestown, New York. And New Trier in the second period, a goal differential of plus 20. That's first place in the SHL, not too surprising there, as the Titans with a goal differential of plus 2 in the second period. As a matter of fact, it's plus 2 in all 3 periods, if you can believe that.
Yeah, and with New Trier, you talk about how good that second period is for them. They just tend to have slow starts sometimes, and then when you talk about their third period goal differential, how it's not the greatest, it's typically because they're already up by a decent amount by then. They're playing more defensive. This is a period where you're going to see some fireworks potentially from both sides.
Yeah, Luke, that third period of New Trier is where you have to bounce on them. They have actually not scored a third period goal in their last 3 games. How about they haven't scored multiple third period goals in 9 straight SHL games, which is quite surprising for New Trier with a goal differential of -2 in the third and final act here in SHL play. As we'll switch sides, Titans still with some time on their power play, though it's been taken off the clock. It should be 50 seconds. It's on your clock watching at home, but for whatever reason it was removed from the arena clock. 1-0 is the score. Ethan Baker with the goal for New Trier, as the ref will now take matters into his own hands.
And by the way, for those of you that let us know that we're good, thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. And if any of you are not subscribed, please do so. We've already hit that 1,000 mark, but It's only up from here. Hoping to reach 2,000 soon. As it looks like they will just say that he'll come out of the box when it should be time, as they still have not put the power play on the board. The New Trier bench fired up here to begin this second period. Lots of energy for the boys on a school night here as we approach the 10 o'clock hour Central Time.
Yeah, it's nearing past my bedtime, Dylan. I don't know how they keep all the energy down there, but that's what makes them a successful team. Got to win every game no matter the conditions, and they're not used to these home games that are played so late at night.
Yeah.
You know, you look at these late games as an advantage for home teams. You talk about how each side has already been through a whole school day, and then obviously the travel isn't much of a difference, but just having that familiarity of where you're playing at, having that comfort can honestly help in the late slots especially.
New Trier will also be home on Sunday night against these very same Glenbrook South Titans, as they will have 2 matchups in 5 days to complete the SHL regular season series, but that one will be at 5:30 p.m. at North Shore Ice Arena. So 2 different rinks in spite of 2 home games for New Trier, as they'll clear this puck again, Luke. And that'll send Max DeGroot out of the penalty box. The Titans unsuccessful on their first power play. They did not get a shot on goal, as the Trevian penalty kill, which has only allowed 2 goals this season, continues to shine. Mulvey sends one to the net, looking for a backdoor play. Couldn't find Sokol, as it's brought out of the zone by New Trier. Grabbed away by Will Fagan, finds Mulvey at the left point. He'll fire a shot, blockered away by Schmidt. Now NTG out through neutral ice. They'll come over the line. This one tipped, but good save made by Preston as the rebound comes to the near side corner. Far side now, Ethan Baker with the goal in the game. He'll try and pass up high. Some Titan bodies getting in the way of that. Sent down below the line once again. Gunther Hutchin. Now taken out by the Titans. Dylan Lytell finds Zach Boris. He'll send this one in. Safe to say it looks like Boris will be playing his usual shifts throughout the night here unless he tweaks something, still coming off that injury that kept him out of the lineup in every game in the Governor's Cup.
Yeah, no, that's great news for Glenbrook South, considering they're already down a guy like Mitchell Adams. You really need everybody to fill into their spot.
Baker now over the line, right wing side, pressured by Will Fagan. Both the Fagan twins are on the ice here for this defensive pairing. As Luke Fagan down to the corner, fighting for the puck. It comes free, but Dylan Lytell couldn't find it. As Will Fagan to the near side, Lytell can't clear it out. Here's a big slap shot by DeGroot from way up high, but that misses the net by a wide margin. And now down to the far side, Boris is taken down. New Trier cycles back up high. Here's a shot, finger tipped, but wide of the net. Rebound grab by Will Fagan for the Titans behind the goal line as he sends it out. Boris slaps it off the far boards and down. Dylan Lytell chasing after it, but first to the puck was Finn DeGroot for the Trevians. Lytell pressuring. He'll find the puck here, get it back up high, looking for Bonnell. He got it to him. Here's a shot by Bonnell. It gets tipped high and out of play for another stoppage.
Yeah, it's a nice offensive chance, all generated out of a forecheck there by Lytell. Snuffed it out and was able to create a chance. This pass, what looked to be initially intended for Bonnell, Pajerski slides in to get and then finds Bonnell behind him. Really like a no-look pass. Some good awareness shown there and a chance just deflected out of play.
Here's a scramble play, hack and whack right in front of the net. They could not get it by. Now Ryan Mulvey keeps it alive, takes a shot in and out of the glove of Schmidt. Now Weller to the net, just over the crossbar. Blake Hoffer for the Titans, near side corner, gets it behind the goal. But New Trier grabs it, can't clear it out, or it just does leak past Ryan Mulvey. He'll have to chase it back down to his own zone. Both teams playing with some good intensity here, as this is a pretty big rivalry in the SHL, one that gets overlooked, as Hoffer sends it over to the far side, but New Trier takes it away. As these two schools in the same IHSA conference as well, so they play each other in all kinds of sports. You see, of course, high school hockey. You know that They have the unique conference alignment with all the schools that don't have teams, all the combined teams. So the SHL, you see rivalries that don't usually emerge naturally in other sports, but Glenbrook South and New Trier is one that goes way back, not just on the ice.
Yeah, and I think something in general that is so much better about playing high school hockey instead of, other sports. Of course, we have some dual athletes out here, but, you have the flexibility of practicing playing on Sundays. You can go travel on more tournaments and such, and it just makes it such a better overall experience that both these teams and every team in the SHL or any league can experience.
Luke, it's one of the most physically demanding sports, but the most games played out of any high school sport across the season. As the Titans usually near that 50 or so mark, as we get a hand pass whistle, that'll stop play. Want to give a huge shout out to our guy Sam Schwartz on our live stats. Look at this one. This specific clock only lets you add penalties in increments of 1:30, 2 minutes, or 5 minutes, and that's why they couldn't put it on the clock. Look at that knowledge.
Sam Schwartz, absolute veteran. You could name any rink in Chicagoland, and he could tell you the ins and outs of it, especially the score box.
As he's been in that score box for, I know, at least one edition of New Trier versus Loyola, in front of a huge crowd here at Winnetka Ice Arena. Not a huge crowd tonight, probably partially due to the 9-10 puck drop, as I really only see a couple of New Trier students in attendance. Here's a shot, that one wide. Rebound, Surma! Where's the puck? It's in the goaltender's equipment, who is frozen right by the line. He doesn't want to move a muscle.
This is why we have goal cams, Dylan. Gonna get a real nice look at it here.
Oh, did I see the puck again?
We got time.
Let's watch it one more time.
Oh, better happen quick, though.
I think that puck might come out right in between his legs, but
so
very clearly
tell.
not over the goal line.
Yeah.
So at least we know the call is right. Titans control again. Here's Mulvey over to Weller, but that pass intercepted by Nagitz. Now Weller gets it back. Tried to play it out to neutral ice, looking for Surma. That didn't quite work out, as it's regrouped and brought back by Luke Chu. Yang out to Herschritt. He comes over the left side. Connor Herschritt to the net. That nearly took a deflection and fooled Thomas Preston, but missed the net. No save required for him. Now centered, backhander. That one stopped by the pad of Preston, just getting enough on it on the slow roller. Now behind the net, they continue to pressure. Yang, top of the right circle. Look to get it back, but Adam Sokol takes this puck away, goes over to Weller, who goes out to neutral ice for Higgins, who deflects it in to avoid an icing. So we'll continue on here. Both teams get a chance to change their lines. As New Trier takes the puck back up, it's Nolan Nagitz over center ice. As he steps over the blue line now, left wing side, takes a shot, tough angle, save made by Preston. It's sent behind the goal. As now Higgins can't quite get that one out. Sent right back down low again. Backhanded behind the net, but the Titans catch a break as that puck hit the skate of the referee. Now New Trier gets it back, taken away by the Titans. Here comes Aiden Weller. Weller over to Weiss. Jonah Weiss with a shot. Turned away by Schmidt as he sends it to the near side, where it's grabbed by Andy Finger of the Trevians. Finger down the right wing side. Centered it. Here's a shot. Big save made by Preston. Puck is being scrambled for, and the Titans backhanded out. And a round of applause here to our left. Now here's DeGroot over the line. Finn DeGroot. This one sent down to the far side corner. One man seated as he tries to fight for that puck. That's Max DeGroot. He finds it, takes a shot. That one gets blocked, never found its way to the net as it gets cleared out to the neutral zone.
Yeah, nice block by Cole McPherson there. You can see on his stride he's feeling it a little bit right now, but come another shift, he'll be feeling plenty fine.
So we've gone quite a while without a whistle. New Trier takes this puck away. Here's a fan shot. Now one gets taken. That goes down to the corner as it's grabbed by Evan Bennell for the Titans. Goes out to Boris, who tips it out to neutral ice. Boris knocks a man off of a potential puck possession as it's sent in by Lytle, but a couple feet from, I thought that was icing, but no, that's the referee. We've got a penalty.
Yeah, hands up high on a hit there. I don't know if I caught the replay in time, but you might see her at the start of your clip. No, you won't. Fire me. That's my bad. But yeah, it was a 50-50 call. The hands were up high on what appears to be Michael Pedraja, who made that hit.
Yeah.
Once again, kind of tough to tell with a couple of Trevians in the way, but I think I'm seeing a 2-0.
Looks like a 7-0. So Max DeGroot?
Yeah, Max DeGroot then.
No live scoring on game sheet, unfortunately.
Bummer.
All right, so the Titans have the power play for the second time, and we have a little delay as they try to figure out how to put that penalty on the clock.
Well, thankfully it's a 2-minute, and this will stay in the second period.
Right.
So,
all power plays for the Titans brought to you by RSM, the power of being understood. Titans 0 for 1. How about that PK, though, from Nutria Green back in the first period? Did not let the Titans get anything going in the attacking zone.
I mean, honestly, if I just walked into that rink as that power play was happening, while the board wasn't showing the penalty, I would have thought for sure it's just even strength.
As you see two refs in there trying to work it out, as I'm sure Sam Schwartz is cringing watching that. All right, there it is. 2 minutes on the clock, and we're underway. Titans power play, an immediate clear by Nutria Green. As we remind you, 94% on the PK here in the SHL. That's 34 for 36. Only 2 PPGs allowed in SHL play. Here's Hoffer knocking this one in. Goes all the way down below the goal line. Pajerski keeps it alive up to Mulvey. Titans have some control. Mulvey, Pajerski left circle, back up high to the captain. Ryan Mulvey. Back for Pajerski as those two play catch. Up to Mulvey again. Now Pajerski up to Mulvey. He'll try a shot looking for a deflection, but it never found the net. Kept alive by Aiden Weller. Over to the near side, Pajerski. Benji Pajerski. Oh, I thought he was going to pass somebody else. There's Ryan Mulvey. Left circle. He'll try a shot. That one blocked by a stick and close. Some good puck movement here for the Titans on this power play, though, something they desperately need. Here's Pajerski, top of the circle. Left it for Ryan Mulvey. Mulvey takes a shot. That one saved by the left pad of Schmidt, forcing him to make a good one. And Nutria will clear it out, but only to neutral ice as the Titans will regain control.
Yeah, real nice job by the Titans so far. They've been able to move the puck fast, and that's the only way you can beat an aggressive penalty kill like Nutria or have them looking like they're going all over the place. But now we'll have a whistle for icing as I spoke it away, Dylan.
Yeah, and a cliche used by broadcasters, but a cardinal sin to ice the puck while on the power play, and now after the Titans were doing such a good job of keeping it in the attacking zone, and they're going to have to... The clock continues to run. About 4 seconds came off the clock, but that's going to hurt the Titans as they lose that much of their power play time. Maybe they'll delay DeGroot coming out of the box for a couple of seconds. We'll have to see.
Yeah, but score box guy did not mean to do that. He has hands up saying I could not control it.
He's having an off night tonight.
Hey, it's late.
As now Frank Surma will chase this back. Suddenly just 13 seconds left on this Titan power play. Here's Frank Surma backhanding this one in, but can't get it over the line. It'll go to Luke Fagan, who comes across. Can't dangle through a maze of 2 or 3 Trevian defenders, and Nutria's power play is 2 for 2 on the night. Still 1-0. Here's Yang with a shot. That one deflects just wide. Her shirt right in front of the net as it's repossessed by the Titans. They can't get it out. Now it will just leak over the blue line. Gunther Hutchin. Now Yang will send it in. The goal by Ethan Baker, as this one will be sent down. Nearly took a deflection off Nagitz, but an icing, as we've got Brad Cesario, our official scoreboard operator, believed that he got a piece of it. It was close.
Here's a look at that redirection in front. That's Herscher in the lane, just straight up hits his body. That does not feel good, especially when you turn to the side like that.
As now we're back underway. Here come the Titans coming outside the zone. A pass up to Dylan Lytell, just missed him. As the Trevians, one of the more disciplined teams in the SHL, with only 7.65 penalty minutes on average per game, only around 2 power play opportunities on average for their opponents. The average in the SHL is 3. Here's New Trier 3-on-2 coming over the line. Gunther Hutchin takes a shot, stopped by the pad of Preston. And now here come the Titans the other way. Dylan Lytell through neutral ice. He comes over the line, right wing side, fires a shot in and out of the glove of Schmidt. As he's allowed quite a few rebounds so far tonight. Might be something that Coach Jim Philbin might want to take note of and add into the game plan here. The Titans have narrowed the gap in shots on goal as well, now trailing to New Trier 12-11. Of course, that's our unofficial count. It'll show a different number in game sheet. It's Brad Cesario doing it manually, so always interesting to see the difference. Now here's Bunnell. Firing it towards the net, taken away by New Trier. Finger out to Chu, waiting at the blue line. Perfect zone entry as he leaves it to Groot, takes a shot. Big save made by Preston as he hangs on for no rebound.
Yeah, this is a nice job by Luke Fagan on the back check. He's coming fresh off the bench. And watch how he's going to force the Trevian at the top of the triangle to take a shot instead of slide it to the back door. That could have been wide open if not from the recovery from the sophomore Luke Fagan.
And Luke, that is a perfect example of something that I would have never said if I was doing this game alone. So it's always good to have a former hockey player in the booth with me. If you don't know, Luke Jordan played for the Chiefs, the combined team. District what?
District 211.
211.
5 high schools.
Yeah. Not to mention the captain of that team, fresh off of his senior year last year, now a freshman in college.
I miss it.
My podcast partner, if you don't tune into the Scholastic Sit Down, new episodes every Tuesday on the SHL YouTube.
And typically always a guest as well. We had Ryan Mulvey on last episode.
We had Coach Adam Cheris on way back in episode number 2.
Yeah. He was our first guest.
I think Max was our first guest.
Oh, yeah, Max was our first guest. He was our first SHL representative of a team.
Exactly. Yes. As now a big hit down in that far side corner. Something you can see, but sort of in our blind spot. Now behind the net. Here's Herstrit playing it off the boards back to his brother. That's Connor with the pass to Jack. Now Jack Herstrit takes a huge hit from Higgins, who knocks him down, but meanwhile New Trier keeps possession. Here's DeGroot with a shot. Save made by Preston. As he's looked solid so far tonight, his only goal allowed, just a snipe from Ethan Baker. Now right in front, Roween gets it down low. Jack Herstrit being pressured by 2 bodies for Glenbrook South. That's Weiss and Luke Fagan. Now centered Luke Chu with a shot. Big save made by the left pad of Preston. Just getting enough on that as it gets fired down for icing.
Luke Chu kind of pinballs off a Trevian in the slot, but he's still able to get a shot off as he is falling to the ice. And Preston, another shot handled well. He's looked really composed. New Trier got out in front fairly early compared to how they did last time against the Titans, where it took them until the second to get in front. But
Titans looking to keep a streak alive of at least a goal in 4 straight games scored in the second period in SHL play. Here's a shot. That one takes a deflection on Preston. He makes the save. As now Stevens goes across for Pajerski. Benji Pajerski looking for Hoffer. He'll try and glove it down to himself, but instead just take it with his stick. Now Stevens back up to Will Fagan. He'll try a shot. Save made by Schmidt. He hangs on for another stoppage.
3:27 to go now. This is a nice communication. Will Fagan knows to stay back because he's going to have a lot of space at the blue line. Throws it on, but the glove of Wyatt Schmidt is there, as it has been there practically the whole season.
By the way, we have a score update for you people watching at home. The Glenbrook South JV team currently leading 2-1 late in the third over St. Viator. As Sam Schwartz feeds us that information, would love to get an update on that, as GBS looking for just their fourth win of SHL play this season at the JV level. As we got a penalty as Will Fagan's taken down, and the Titans will head to the power play for the third time this evening.
Yeah, that's a high stick for sure. You can see Fagan goes down right away. that is as high sticking as high sticking can get when you're wearing a cage.
I think in ref training they should show that clip right there.
That is textbook.
Perfect example. All right, so back to the power play go the Titans. We remind you once again that all power plays on the South Hockey Network are brought to you by RSM, the power of being understood. And it was a tough power play for the Titans the first time, but had some things going on their second look. Let's see what happens here on opportunity number 3. It starts with a new Trier clear.
Well, it's not the greatest of starts, but now you can enter the zone with some speed.
Aiden Weller just out of the reach of Hoffer, even with his long stick.
I apologize for jinxing it.
As now it'll be a zone entry for New Trier while shorthanded. Andy Finger then will retreat outside the zone. This is basketball. They would have just called a backcourt violation, as now it's sent all the way down, a shot on net, as Preston will get credit for a 170-foot save.
And crazy enough, New Trier actually wins the chase there.
As now Ryan Mulvey with some speed leads the charge. Mulvey back up high. Aiden Weller across for Pajerski. Benji Pajerski over to Mulvey. He takes a shot. Save made by Schmidt as he hangs on. Ryan Mulvey with 2 power play points this season as a defenseman.
Yeah, you can tell this is one of the Titans' narratives. Getting some traffic in front. Stevens a little bit off of Schmidt. You want to be a little bit more in front of his peripheral vision. But he's there on the doorstep for a rebound just in case.
As we get Mitch Adams, of course the father of Mitchell, here in the chat, giving us an update. How about the win for the JV side? Here's a shot. That one stopped by Schmidt as it deflects down to the corner. So Ryan Mulvey up high takes a shot. That one blocked, and racing after it now is New Trier. It's Garrett Chong. Chong between the legs of one, crashes the net, scores, but the net was off and it's waved off. Good call by the official. That was way before that puck crossed the goal line. New Trier bench going palms up, including Adam Cheris, but that was the right call for me. We'll have another look.
Yeah, and on the rule book, Dylan, you are right. I do wish this is kind of a rule they would change and kind of let it play if the net is still within range.
This will be your good look. I mean, well, yeah.
I mean, it's Preston that takes off the net, though. You could argue this is a New Trier goal.
Well, I'm not talking about what it should be, Luke. I'm talking about the rules. And
yes,
earlier in this season series on the SHL Game of the Week, Glenbrook South was denied a goal similarly to that in the third period. So that's the right call for me. And I thought the GBS no goal was way more deserving of being one than that. As now Coach Cheris will get an explanation by the penalty box.
Well, obviously the goal is most likely not going to go on the board, but nonetheless, what a play by Garrett Chong. He was able to make a shot block happen, and then he had to get by Aiden Weller, and he did just that. This is an incredible back check by Weller, but Chong puts it in between the legs of Weller as he's transitioning backwards. That is not often you see a player pull that out of his bag, but boy, it was a nice move, a nice finish, but the net just off. And as much as in reality it could be a goal, it doesn't look like it'll count, and Adam Cheris is going to make sure he gets the right explanation. And yeah, I mean, if that's to happen at Glenbrook South, I would see Jim Philbin doing the same thing. He's even trying to poke his ear into the conversation and figure out what's going on.
Yeah, he's right there too, as now he'll get the explanation from the officials. But, I mean, the argument is real. That would have been a goal had it not been knocked off by the goaltender. How, you could argue, how is that the fault of the goal scorer Chong, or the no goal scorer Chong, but you got to play by the rules. And like I said, Glenbrook South in the third period was denied a goal of a very similar circumstance against this very same New Trier.
Absolutely, Dylan. And honestly, now this is not me reading through the rules. This is just interpretation of what happened. I think it would be fair if you gave New Trier a potential penalty shot. I mean, some might say it's not within the ballpark, but, I mean, he's got an open net, and the net was knocked off. If Preston was to do that intentionally, it would absolutely be a penalty shot. But, of course, there's no intent of just trying to get out to the spread eagle. You happen to kick off that red post. It was nothing purposeful from Thomas Preston, but...
Well, something was just put in the scorecard because...
Oh, they put it as a penalty. So,
all right.
I guess I was close.
Yeah, so no penalty shot, but it does put a halt to the Titan power play. So we'll skate 4-on-4, but for Jim Philbin and company, that's a lot better than trailing 2-0.
Absolutely. New Trier might be the best power play in the SHL, but this has been a year of the penalty kills, Dylan. You're talking about the best power play in the SHL, just posting above 21%. You would much rather have this.
All right, 4-on-4 for 49 seconds. Then it'll be an abbreviated New Trier power play. When that happens, the Titans will be on the penalty kill, and all penalty kills are sponsored by Hannah Vanderploeg Trial Attorneys. It'll be New Trier's first power play of the game. Here's Yang in the 4-on-4, centered at Baker. Tipped that one down below the net. Ethan Baker, who's scored the lone goal in the game for either side. Still 1-0 here late in the second period. This one's deflected out by Adam Sokol. Right there is Nagitz for New Trier Green. Now tipped into the zone by Chong, who was just denied a goal, and now played all the way down, off the boards and right on net. Covered up by Schmidt for a whistle. 10 seconds left before the NTG power play commences. 1:14 to go in the second period. As the Titans outscoring their opponents 8-4 across the last 4 games in the second period. Seven seconds separate the penalty clock and game clock, so and the result, New Trier does not score. They'll have 7 seconds on a fresh sheet of ice, which is a little bit more than 7 seconds, of course, because the guy in the box has to rejoin the play. Ryan Mulvey down to the corner, back up high, left point, Mulvey down to Frank Surma. He takes a shot, save made by Schmidt. Thought about hanging on to it. With a New Trier power play ensuing now, he'll keep the puck moving.
Yeah, I think that's the right decision there, Dylan. Now you can come up the ice with numbers and speed.
As this one's played up on the near side boards. A board battle. Found by Baker. He tried a backhand shot, stick in the way by Weller. Now up high, Hipsch goes back to Herstrit. Now Hipsch gets it back, takes a shot. Save made by Preston. Rebound, he made a second save with some help from the post. Then he'll cover it up. Keeping it 1-0 against.
Yeah, it is going to be valuable to see both angles of this. It goes up to the point, a nice shot, and that rebound just rifles off of the body of Preston. I've really never seen a rebound come off that hard, giving a chance to a bunch of Trevian skaters that are located pretty far from the net. And Preston able to get under it at the end.
28 seconds to go in the period. This one's up to Connor Herstrit. High slot, Hipsch. Right point now, gets it back to Herstrit, right circle. Goes across for his brother Jack Herstrit. Up to Hipsch now. Jack Herstrit, left circle. Time winding down, 10 seconds left. Herstrit goes to Hipsch. Hipsch down to Herstrit. One man taken down right in front of the net. Here's Herstrit with a shot from a tight angle. That one stopped as the puck behind the net as time expires here in period number 2. So the same 1-0 lead the Trevians took into the second, they'll carry into the third. As now, some commotion by the New Trier Green bench, as maybe we'll see a late penalty called. I think what happened was that puck hit the protective netting, and with 1 second left, the ref didn't blow the whistle, and some arguments there, but now Cheris will get another explanation, and we'll find out shortly.
I think what it was is that Garrett Chong was getting pretty beat up in front of the net by Will Fagan, and he was eventually shoved down, and New Trier started to say that could have been a penalty, which I'm not sure if it could have. It really could have gone either way, but I think that's what resulted in a couple of chirps from the Trevian bench by one of the quote-unquote scratches, might be injured, and I think he could have gotten thrown out. So who knows if we'll have a penalty assessed, but
well,
that's
of course,
what I took away.
We don't have game sheet updating, so maybe during this intermission, I'll make my way down to the box and see what's going on that good old iPad. But that's going to take us into our second intermission, as we'll cut the ice here at Winnetka Ice Arena. Luke Jordan alongside me, Dylan Ward, Brad Cesario on the scoreboard in the top left corner of your screen. And as always, Gerard Boris, our technical engineer. We will take a timeout. Don't go anywhere. We'll stay live. Third period coming up in about 5-10 minutes right here on the South Hockey Network. Welcome back to the South Hockey Network, everybody. Live on YouTube, live from Winnetka Ice Arena here in Winnetka. Dylan Ward and Luke Jordan here in the booth. Gerard Boris, our technical engineer, and Brad Cesario in charge of the scoreboard in the top left corner of your screen. It is a 1-0 lead for the New Trier Trevians, with the lone goal coming in the first period, scored by Ethan Baker. And that's where we stand. That's Baker's second goal in as many SHL games. And Luke, we talked a little bit about that goal scored by Evan Bonnell in the championship of that Governor's Cup. In case you at home missed it, let's have another look. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, no lie. In fact, he was able to partially maintain his balance and finish the play. This celebration much showing that he couldn't even believe he pulled it off. That is just one of those goals where you're going to watch it for the rest of your life and say, you're going to show your kids, that was me in high school.
Evan Bonnell scored that goal as well as the first goal back in Game 1 in Jamestown. Still waiting for his first SHL goal of the season, 2 assists to his name so far in league play. As the teams meet at their benches, and we did some investigative work, Luke, during the intermission. Got yelled at by one of the rink officials for walking across the ice. But the verdict, no penalty at the end. So the Titans thought that maybe New Trier was going to get a bench minor. That was not the case. So we'll still stick with the New Trier power play, which only has 7 seconds left, and then 5-on-5 until the next penalty. Titans are right in this game. They had a nice second period. Trail shots by 4, 19-15. New Trier wins possession. Fresh sheet of ice to sling the biscuit around. Here's Pajerski out to Hoffer. Benji Pajerski back in his own zone as we're back to 5-on-5 already. So the Trevians 0 for 1 on the power play here in this one. New Trier backhands this one, looking to get it back down deep. Benji Pajerski will take it instead. Titans in game number 16 of a stretch of 20 games in 27 days before the winter break, where they'll have 2 weeks off.
Some very valuable time to recover, because I'm sure they're already feeling it now. Might not affect your game, but you can feel the soreness as you stride.
Well, after the Governor's Cup, including an 8-hour bus ride back home to Glenview, they had a nice 2 days off on Monday and Tuesday before this stretch of 4 games in 5 nights begins. Tomorrow they'll have off, then games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings. A huge 2 points on the line here for the Titans as they look for their 10th SHL win of the season, currently with a record of 9-5-1. And a huge opportunity here to take advantage of a New Trier Green that struggles in the third period. They have not scored in the third period in their last 3 SHL games, hasn't scored multiple third period goals in 9 straight games. Here's Baker with a look for his second of the night. He couldn't find it. Now here's a big slap shot from the right circle. That one saved by Preston. Now way up high. Here's Nolan Nagitz. Can't get around Cesario cleanly, so he'll backhand this one down to the right circle. Here's a shot, that one blocked. Rebound sent high over the net. 2 minutes into the third. Titans looking for their first goal, as they have been victim to a shutout on only 2 occasions so far this season. Now here they come, 2-on-1. It's Adam Sokol, has Surma to his left, got it over, back to Adam Sokol. He takes a shot. That one stopped by Schmidt as it's forced back out into neutral ice. Boy, Luke, the best offensive look the Titans have had all night here in Winnetka.
Absolutely, Dylan, and that's a nice job by Wyatt Schmidt to stand tall, not get pushed in his crease there on the follow-up chance.
Ethan Baker, he scored a goal today to make it goals in 2 straight SHL games. Now Rowian back up to Nagitz. He tries a shot, a little bit of a screen in front of Preston there, but he makes the save anyway. As now the puck being battled for. Evan Bonnell grabs it in his own zone, skates through the neutral zone. Over the line, right wing side, he'll fire it in. Over to the far side, Zach Boris. Backhands it up to Lytell. Taken away by New Trier. It's Andy Finger. Out to Herstrit. Herstrit over the line, left wing side, tipped on goal by Connor Herstrit, but the save is made by Preston. Boy, he's had a good night tonight. 20 saves on 21 shots against. Now Lytle ahead to Boris. He fires a shot. That one deflects wide. Down below the goal line it goes. Brought up high, McPherson. Herstrit can't clear the zone. What a pass by Lytle, finding Bennell. But then it's just past his stick. Now Lytle. Near side corner takes a hit into the boards as New Trier will come out with it. Luke Chu. Now McPherson swipes it from his reach. Sends it down. This will not have enough juice on it for an icing. Andy Finger will swoop in and grab it. Play it up to Jack Herstrit, who tips it out. Connor Herstrit then will tip it in. Grab by Higgins. He'll send this one down. It'll go far enough for icing. As I don't believe that got tipped, but we hear some arguments here in the booth. Well, let's have a look at the replay. As it looks like the right side net cam is having some problems.
It is off. It's more.
As we take a live look.
A little upside down hockey.
It's like that suction cup. Not doing great, but good thing Gerard has the safety clip clipped onto the net to prevent the camera from hitting the surface. As now New Trier will come out with it. Here's a pass up to DeGroot. Couldn't get a shot away as Weiss takes it away.
That's a nice defensive play by Luke Fagan. Something I've noticed about how the Fagan brothers play defense, they are physical, they are fearless, and they step up at any given moment. Got
some good size on them, too, in spite of only being sophomores. They're on the same D unit here as this shot taken from the right side. As Luke, without Asher Vanderplug in the lineup long term and no sixth defenseman as a potential varsity 2 call-up, the Titans have been rolling with 5D pretty much all season since Asher's injury, and obviously that results in not a lot of coherent defensive pairings. It's sort of been mixed up really on a per-game basis.
Yeah, and it's something that not a lot of people notice, but it is really hard to juggle, not only for the players, but for Coach Philbin.
As Huber gets it down low, as Dylan Lytle technically listed as a forward/D, and he could be their 6D man, and he has been on a couple occasions. Here's a shot, that one held onto by Preston, but at this time, Philbin seems to prefer keeping him at forward and having just the 5 defensemen.
It seems to have worked. Still a relentless defense that this Titans team holds. Nice save there by Preston. Of course, it's coming right at him, but it's a nice job to get his trapper on top of it.
So I'm actually going to grab a replay as you see the hustle here on the bottom of your screen from Gerard Boris, our technical engineer, as Brad Cesario takes over on camera while Gerard goes and fixes the net cam. Here comes Blake Hoffer, but they call it offsides. The Titan bench does not like that call. We'll have another look.
Oh, Dylan, we will have a look. Let's see. Oh, I don't mean to be like Tony Romo, but I don't know, Dylan. That is really close. And by the way, the Trevians checking in, now having a trainer check on Keegan Rowian, who was lunging his way to the Trevian bench earlier on. And now we have a penalty in the books.
Yeah, it's going to go against Glenbrook South as Cole McPherson will have a seat. And now that we have the game sheet live, we'll wait for the penalty call to load in, but Luke, I have no idea what that could have been. Maybe he said something in response to that offsides.
Could have just been something verbal. I don't think it was anything physical.
Here's a shot, that one stopped by Preston as the Trevians will go to the power play for the second time tonight. Here's Hipsch with a shot. That one stopped. Sokol will clear as all penalty kills are sponsored by Hannah Vanderplug Trial Attorneys.
Slashing is the call on Cole McPherson. I did not see that.
I didn't either.
Must have been behind the play.
As the whistle was for offsides against the Titans, so we didn't get an immediate whistle on that. Here's Hipsch.
And Gerard Boris is back up here, the marathon man, doing it all.
Yeah, absolutely unreal commitment to the broadcast for Gerard Boris. And, of course, Luke, the Titans were to score a goal in this third period, it would be down on that right side. So we definitely want to get a replay of that if it happens. Should say when it happens. This one sent in, gloved by Preston. He hangs on for a whistle as we get down to 10:04 remaining in period number 3. Have a look at the perfectly placed net cam. And how about this one? Look at how even the lines are, even on quick calibration from Gerard Boris as he gives himself a tap on the back after that.
You talk about the goats of sports, but how about the goats of production?
Absolutely. In high school hockey, it's a two-man Hall of Fame, Jimmy the Wiz and Gerard Boris.
Absolutely. Can't forget the Wiz.
9:54 to go in the third. We thank all of you for tuning in, especially Lucas Gilbertson here. How about this comment? These announcers are nails, knowing the rule book cover to cover. Keep it up, boys. As we saw that during the intermission, but forgot to bring it up until now. But that was in response to the no-goal call. Well, the Trevians nearly made it 2-0. They put the puck to the back of the net, but it was waved off as the net had come off. Unintentionally kicked off by Thomas Preston. But the right call was made. Now they hack and whack right by the blue paint. Another shot, and I think Preston got a piece of that one. Now it deflects right in on goal, and Preston will cover it up. And the Titan bench taps their sticks on the boards.
Yeah, a lot to digest there. And this all starts Hoffer's attacking Nuggets at the top, leaving a far side shot wide open. And you can just tell they just keep battling and battling on this first initial opportunity. You're going to see it from behind the net now. It looks like it might have gotten redirected, and Preston really just can't track it down, but the puck eventually trickles below the net.
Now right off the draw, New Trier couldn't get a clean shot away as the Titans will get it out to neutral ice. Cole McPherson is out of the box. He'll head to the bench in exchange for a different skater. And we are back to 5-on-5 play. These teams combined 0 for 5 on the power play in this game. GBS 0 for 3, New Trier 0 for 2.
Yeah, and the goalies really haven't been too tested. Both penalty kill units have played very impeccable today.
As New Trier leads shots on goal in this period, Luke, 9-1 by our official count. And now it is the official count as we realize that the guys doing the game sheet in the box is actually one of their first times doing it. So, a couple of problems, but we did enable live scoring for them. Only problem is they're not counting shots on goal, and that would be a huge problem if not for the South Hockey Network and Brad Cesario counting the shots. So these will now be your official shot on goal totals for the game as scored in game sheet after Sam makes that correction.
Yeah, it would not look good on the goalies if they allowed 4 goals on 0 shots, hypothetically speaking. But they're still both playing incredible.
Wyatt Schmidt pitching a shutout so far, 28 saves on 28 shots. As Luke gives me a look, but here on the South Hockey Network, we want to jinx it.
That's true. That's true. It's not too often I hear you say it.
As Thomas Preston, 15 for 16, only allowed the 1 goal in the first period. As Herstrick centered it, here's a shot, and that one blocked. No save required for Preston as it goes down below the net. 7.5 to go here in period number 3. We haven't seen a puck to the back of the net since Ethan Baker way back in the first period, as he's responsible for the number 1 on your scoreboard.
We'll take a look at this New Trier zone entry. Just thrown to the slot, a good look. I'm not sure if it happened to hit Fagan in front or whatever it was, but nice positioning by Titans having numbers in the slot, preventing any good opportunities for the Trevians.
Face-off for GBS in the attacking zone, left circle. Now Pajurski behind the net. Puck comes to the near side. Harrison Miller for New Trier. And played out with a backhand. It finds Hans Huber. Over the line comes New Trier. Right side, here's a shot tipped high and out of play by Thomas Preston. That'll stop the clock again. Something
my buddy Ryan, who I used to do a lot of broadcasts with, would always point out body language. You look at the Glenbrook South bench right now, they look exhausted. Everybody's sitting. The new Trier bench, meanwhile, most of them standing, and that can really resemble how a game is going, or especially how a period is going. And it just shows that New Trier feels like they've controlled this third.
Well, they certainly have in the shots department. As Luke, you put it yesterday on the podcast, shots on goal won't tell you who's controlling a game, but they will tell you who's possessing a game. But in this case, New Trier is in control here in this third period. It was a good second period by the Titans, but they are looking to find the game-tying goal. Backhander, that one to the side of the net. As Luke Fagan plays it to the far side, Hoffer. Now Pajerski out to Stevens, who tips it ahead. Ben Stevens with the most recent Glenbrook South goal, scoring number 6 in the 6-1 win in the championship of the Governor's Cup. Meanwhile, New Trier back over the line on a turnover. It's Zach Hipsch, tried to center it, but it goes right to Pajerski. Now deflects to Fagan. Pajerski gets it back. Benji Pajerski over the line, right wing side. Gets it poked off of his stick, but Cesario swoops in. Down below the goal line, Jonathan Cesario. Pajerski threw it up high, just out of the zone, as Will Fagan will have to chase back out to neutral ice and dump it back in. Titans tag up as we get down to 5:40 to go in the third period.
Yeah, and the Titans have just made a lot of blind passes to the slot. If you got numbers in there, you can eventually generate a chance. You can tell that they're just starting to look a little bit more desperate, and they're not holding on to the puck as long as they would like to.
Here's Oyang. Titans still with only one shot in period number 3 against Wyatt Schmidt. As I totally had those save numbers wrong, by the way, I flipped them. It's Wyatt Schmidt who's 16 for 16. Thomas Preston, 28 for 29. Ryan Mulvey through the neutral zone, comes over the line, right wing side. Ryan Mulvey gets down to the corner, puts on the brakes right in front of the net. Surma with a shot. That one stopped. Rebound went down below the goal line. Good look for the Titans, right and close. A grade A opportunity, as some coaches would put it.
Yeah, it's another one of those flashes of a great opportunity for the Titans, but Wyatt Schmidt has remained where he's needed to be.
As now behind the goal line, this one thrown in front, takes a deflection and saved by Preston.
We'll take a look back at that recent chance for Glenbrook South. It's Mulvey, a no-look pass in front, and Surma, it kind of bobbles off his stick for a moment, and he's unable to track it down as he's spinning. Another good look at it here. Just really tough, and it just bounces on him. If that puck stays flat on the ice, we could very much have a tied-up game.
We'll keep a close eye down to our left. Still some time to go before Jim Philbin will try and pull the goaltender, or maybe he won't need to. 1-0 game in favor of New Trier Green. Only goal has come in the first period of play by Ethan Baker, and that's led us to now. Lytle, far side Boris in there scrambling for the puck. 2-on-2 battle. Far side half boards. Boris comes away with it. Zach Boris behind the net. Hoffer look to throw it in front as you see Jim Philbin mixing up the lines a little bit. Hoffer out there with Lytle and Boris. Lytle knocking this one down below the line. Hoffer threw it in front. Nobody home, wearing yellow. And it comes all the way back outside the zone. 3:40 to go in the third. Can the Titans find the game-tying goal here in Winnetka on this late night? Big hit down into the Titan bench. Meanwhile, Stevens scores! This game is tied. Ben Stevens makes it goals in 2 straight. 1-1 your score here with 3.5 to go.
Well, I tell you what, Dylan, I thought all the momentum out of the building was gone when Pajerski gets taken over the boards, but Stevens continues the play. He uses his speed to get ahead, and this comes off of his stick so fast. He gets it set and puts it right by the blocker side of Wyatt Schmidt, and just like that, we are at a tie game with just about 3 minutes left in period number 3, Dylan.
As the hit into the boards, Luke, that's reminiscent of your game that you called a few months ago. I think I forgot. It might have been Pajerski actually again, but it might have been Adam Sokol as well. 20-something.
Or it might have been Weller, I think.
Yeah.
It was 2-something, yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Ben Stevens makes it points in 5 straight SHL games. With the goal there, we'll have to look at the tape for the assists. Maybe Sam can help us out with that, watching from home. This one's left off. Moreno to the slot. Pajerski. Now Stevens up ahead. Blake Hoffer. Can the Titans take the lead? It's Hoffer trying a snipe, looking for the 5-hole. Didn't find it. Now this one comes outside the zone as we get down to 3 minutes remaining here in period number 3. Titans with a huge game-tying goal. The first goal by either team since early in the first. Will Fagan sends this one in on net. Turned away by Wyatt Schmidt. Now behind the net, Nagitz. Looking for a pass. Plays it off the boards. Nobody finds it. It will be an icing. And an attacking zone faceoff coming up for Glenbrook South. Both coaches still with a timeout in their back pocket.
Nice play by Nagitz to avoid some pressure down low. Shakes off 2 Titan forecheckers, but eventually ices it. And here's a look. This is Pajerski. And that's Huber, who is just such a physical player. Winds him over the boards.
Shot off the faceoff. That was a good look. Just getting enough of the pad on it was Schmidt. Now behind the net, thrown in front, Surma. And the Trevians come out with it. Here's Garrett Chong, who was denied a goal on a no-goal call earlier in the second period. 2 minutes to play here on this late Wednesday night. Titans looking to force it out of the zone. Now they will come out. It's Aiden Weller. Weller will knock this one in. Just getting a piece of it with the glove is Schmidt. That should be a shot on goal. As now behind the net, it's grabbed by Oyang. Ethan Baker. Over the line, gets through the legs of Stevens. The 2 goal scorers in battle right there. Now Pajerski backhands it out to Hoffer. Blake Hoffer looking for a pass. He'll retreat. Hoffer looks over his options. He'll lead the zone rush himself. Blake Hoffer around one. Backhand shot. That one saved. Swiped out of there by the glove of one of the New Trier players as that one just stays in bounds off the high glass. 1:10 to go. Here's Stevens, the goal scorer for the Titans. Ben Stevens, who just scored his 8th of the SHL season. Now Hoffer lifts it into Pajerski. Taken away by the Trevians. Blake Hoffer keeps it in, right point. Takes a man down. Trevians looking for a cross-checking call. They're not going to get one. Blake Hoffer knocks another man down right in front of the net. 8 versus 8 action right there as he takes down Nolan Nagitz. Now Harrison Miller over the line. Goes to that left side corner. Lots of commotion here at the rink. As Huber takes a shot, that one wide of the net. 30 seconds to go in period number 3. Lifted out to neutral ice. Hipsch will take it. Play it over to Huber, who comes over the line. Right wing side. Huber with a shot blocked by Will Fagan. 19 seconds as this puck behind the net. Cesario. New Trier back up high. Titans will try and force this out. They will. It's Adam Sokol coming through neutral ice. Sokol around one. He takes a shot. That one saved by Schmidt. 1 second on the clock. And for only the second time this season, the Titans will require overtime here in the SHL. 1-1 your score after 51 minutes. And we'll play some more hockey.
Yeah, and they had to battle back, Dylan. It was not an easy third period. We talked about how New Trier was controlling over the first half of this final regulation period. Here's a good look at the end, just steered aside by Schmidt, able to get down in that butterfly in time, but just when you thought the game couldn't get any later or any more entertaining, when these goalies have just been brick walls in front of the net, Schmidt finally allows one on a nice shot from Ben Stevens.
All right, well, it is 10:50 p.m. local time here in Winnetka on a school night. As Luke Jordan takes his headset off to get a better listen as to what's going on near the benches. You get anything there, Luke?
Don't really think so. I think it might just be another warning for the New Trier bench. I think they've had a couple of assistants maybe speak a little bit louder than they should have, and according to the ref, and this officiating crew has really not been a big fan of them.
All right, well, the Titans go to overtime for the second time this SHL season. They're 0-1 with a loss in their home opener way back in October to St. Ignatius. But on the overall season, 2-2 in games decided beyond regulation. 3-2 as they've won a shootout. They've won 2 shootouts, lost a shootout, and won in overtime to OPRF. Meanwhile, New Trier in the SHL season, they have never been to a shootout, but they are 3-0 in games decided in the extra session. 5 minutes on the clock. We reduce down to 3 skaters aside. Sudden death here in hockey. Next goal will win the game. If none in these 5 minutes, we'll decide it in a shootout.
Don't go to bed just yet, fellas.
Jim Philbin's initial 3 are Pajurski, Mulvey, and Hoffer. As for Adam Cheris, he'll go with Garrett Chong, Ethan Baker, and Zach Hipsch. Here's Mulvey behind his net, leaves it for Hoffer. Blake Hoffer has some speed. He gets around Baker. Blake Hoffer over the line. Hoffer sends it up to Pajurski. Benji Pajurski shoots, save made by Schmidt. Rebounds grabbed by Zach Hipsch of New Trier Green, and they will have a chance to reset.
I like the look.
So key in overtime. Go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, I like the look there from Pajurski. Most guys would typically circle back.
Here's Hipsch trying a shot. That one held on to by Preston, and we'll have a face-off.
Once again, another composed save by Thomas Preston.
Wrong side?
Wrong side. Still a rookie here. I can't even call myself that anymore. But Preston gets out in front of his blue paint. And once again, he's just been so great at tracking these slot shots from the Trevians.
Every face-off so critical. New Trier Green wins this one, but they can't keep it in the zone. Luke Chu chasing back after it. Leaves it for Nagitz. Now up to Chu, who comes over the line left wing side. Takes a shot. That one stopped by Preston. Rebound. Goes behind the net. Chu. Bunnell and Surma on the ice. Bunnell's had a pretty good game and had a pretty good Jamestown tournament. Jim Philbin trusting him with some ice time here in this OT. Knocked off the stick, and here comes Ryan Mulvey, the defenseman for Glenbrook South. Ryan Mulvey puts on the brakes, leaves it for Surma. Instead, Bunnell takes a shot. That one blocked. Rebound kicked ahead, but kept alive by Mulvey. Down to Bunnell, who gloves it down. He can't get a shot away as it's stick checked off him. Now here comes New Trier. It's a 3-on-1. Nolan Nagitz, but offsides. As Luke Chu goes palms up, and both coaches on the bench put their hands to their heads.
Yeah, Adam Cheris cannot believe it. You don't see him leave that expression often, but it's Herstrit. I don't know. It's another one of those 50-50s, as we've seen all night. I think that could have been onsides, but we'll play on.
The refs, especially here in overtime, trying their absolute best to get the right call. They tried the whole game, but here it matters just a little bit more. As now here is Gunther Hutchin, poked off his stick by Will Fagan. Chasing it back down into his own zone is Moreno. Peter Moreno picks up some speed, comes over the line. One hand on his stick, gets it around Will Fagan, down to the corner. Plays it over to the far side for Jack Herstrit. Herstrit down to his man. Here's a shot by Herstrit. That one wouldn't go. Now behind the net. Thrown in front. Hutchin scores! A one-timer in the slot. And New Trier will take it. 2-1. The Titans pick up the OTL point in the standings. But it is the Trevians who avoid the comeback loss.
Thomas Preston slow to get up, but he cannot be ashamed of that performance. A great game from Preston, and this is just a shot from the slot where Preston's already on the move. He can't recover back to that left side. You're going to see here, it's a nice pass to a wide open man, and all Preston can try to do there is get his glove out. He just barely misses, and nonetheless, it was a good performance from the Titans. And Dylan, we thought in the last 3 minutes of this one that New Trier would walk away with 2 points, and Glenbrook South could have walked away with nothing. Ben Stevens able to force overtime. You got to think positive. You lost 5-0 to this team last time. This is a much-needed improvement. You're playing on the road. You're able to grab a point, but they'll be hungry for Sunday, Dylan.
Yeah, Luke, you're not kidding. And, I just want to look back at the Governor's Cup. In the last game of the preliminary rounds in pool play, the Titans lost 1-0 in a shootout. Had they lost that game in regulation, they would have not qualified for the semifinals and obviously would not have gone on to win the championship. Obviously, you want a win, but to get the tying goal late in the third like the Titans did by Ben Stevens and get that 1 point, that could be the difference late in the season as we see how close the SHL standings are.
Yeah, absolutely, Dylan. On our podcast, we look at it every week, and we see how tight of a race it is. So, like I said, you just got to be positive. You walk away with a point, and you still got plenty of hockey to play this weekend. You're looking at what could be a 6-point weekend if you play your hearts out.
Well, these two teams will rematch on Sunday, as you mentioned. A packed weekend for the Glenbrook South. Their next game will be on Friday night, 8:30 p.m., as the Titans will make their first trip to Paul Hruby Ice Arena since the 2021-2022 season in an SHL game against OPRF back when they were in the league. And then that'll be Friday night. And then, as you mentioned, Glenbrook North comes into the Glenview Ice Center for a big one on Saturday night at 6:30. And then the Titans and Trevians go one more time on Sunday at 5:30, where New Trier Green will look to give the sweep right back to the Titans. Titans will look to avoid that, but a hard-fought game. Thomas Preston stood on his head. He'll finish the game with 32 saves on 34 shots. Luke, do you have any final thoughts?
Just get ready for the weekend. You talk about how they play in that Governor's Cup. They're going to be prepared for a weekend like this, and I think it really could be a successful one for them if they just have things go right.
All right, well, for our entire crew tonight, it was Brad Cesario on the scoreboard, Gerard Boris, our technical engineer, Luke Jordan, my color commentator for tonight's proceedings. My name is Dylan Ward, saying we hope you enjoyed this broadcast. We appreciate you staying up late with us here on this Wednesday. One more time, the final score in OT. New Trier 2, Glenbrook South 1. Enjoy the day off tomorrow, and we will see you right back at it Friday night, 8:30 p.m. Central Time here in the Chicago area. Make sure you tune in for that one right here on the South Hockey Network. Till then, enjoy your time off.